Hello, my name is Mark McCaighey and welcome to The Funny Side, the show in which we take a comical look at a chosen subject. In this half hour we blow the whistle on the funny side of sport with the aid of classic comedy clips and real life sporting gaffes. So to get the action started we begin with tennis, and here to serve up the laughs are a couple of comedy champs, Morecambe and Wise.
Lovely day for you, Derek.
Never mind that. Just get on with the game.
Gonna show me a thing or two, are you?
Cut the chat and let's get playing tennis. What are you doing?
Testing the strings. Good racket you've got there.
Oh, yes. I'll use my championship racket.
That's your championship racket?
Annihilated them all in my time.
Like who?
The greatest ever, that's all.
Who was that?
Only Lou Grade.
Lou Hode.
Oh, was it? It's changed his name again to protect the innocent. Where's the barley water?
You don't need barley water. This is just a friendly game.
I don't play friendly games, Sunbeam. I'm known as the killer of the court. Get down there and whip a few up. Ready? Anytime you like, sunshine. You can whip one up as soon as you like.
15 love.
Eh?
15 love. First point to me.
What are you talking about? 15 love. You've got to get one past me first.
I have got one past you. There it is at the back of the court. 15 love.
That was there before, that was. That was there before. I saw it when I came in. That was there before that.
15 love. Lou Grade. I'll serve a bouncy one.
I don't want a flaming bouncy one. You belt them as hard as you like.
Very well.
Ready? I'm ready. This time you won't even see it when I belt it back. It'll be just a white blur if you're lucky. Anytime you like and as hard as you like.
30 love.
30 love what?
30 love. Just belted another one past you. You didn't even move.
I was talking, wasn't I?
You've never stopped talking since we came onto this court. You've never stopped boasting about how good you are.
What chance do I stand when I'm playing against somebody who cheats?
Cheats?
Yes, you cheat.
30 love.
Right then, matey. Forearm smash you'll get now.
Oh, you're good at the forearm smash then.
Who do you think taught Jelly Bean King? And Yvonne Dinnergon. I'll destroy you now, matey.
30 love.
Ready? You'll find out how ready I am. I found out what I was doing wrong. Us pros do that from time to time. We make basic errors. My stance was all wrong for your serve. I shouldn't have had me back to you.
I understand.
Right, champ. Yes, and I better loosen this sweatband. It's hurting my leg.
Okay now.
You'll find out, Buster. I've got it all together now. Let's have your best serve. Like a tiger I am now. Pounce on your serve when it comes. I'll smash it back low over the net. Anytime you like. Let's have your serve. Ready I am now. If it's not too much trouble, would you mind serving? Because I'm waiting here. I'm ready when you are.
40 love.
What kind of a way do you call that to play tennis? Half an hour I was waiting for that ball.
And if you're not ready, it's hardly my fault. 40 love. Yvonne Dinnergon.
And stop walking like Virginia Wade. You're only trying to put me off.
Ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
First game to me, I think, chap.
How am I supposed to play tennis without barley water? There should be barley water here.
You must be worn out the way you shot around this court. Nevertheless, first game to me.
You'll get yours now. It's my turn to serve. Machine Gun Morecambe.
Got a good serve, then?
It'll be so fast, the draft will whip it right off the top of your head.
I'll risk it.
One killer serve coming up now.
You're right, I didn't see it. You're not supposed to hit them backwards, champ.
Shut up!
from? Rent to tent? Shut up! Love 15, champ.
You've asked for it now, you have.
Now, wait a minute. Now, don't get annoyed. No, don't you dare. Don't you throw that case like at me. Oh!
Out like a light. Game, set, and match to me.
Making a racket there, court jesters, Morecambe and Wise. And staying with tennis, here's a couple of real-life sporting gaffes, starting with one from the 1983 Wimbledon final.
So McEnroe points for 3-1, leading 2 sets to love, sweeping on his way to another doubles win. Serves. Oh, that's an ace. Now,
Fleming and McEnroe.
it's the very same service that Tom did twice for him, and he said was a fault. Exactly the same. Might have been just inside
Fleming
the
and
sideline.
McEnroe lead,
Never
3
mind.
games to 1, third set.
So, 3-1. Who are they going to play in the final? Do we know yet?
This is the final.
What am I talking about? Sorry. And it's Tim Gunnington serving Roy Box end to Fleming. What am I talking about?
It's nice to know you make mistakes too.
I have gone completely like Andrea for the
15
moment.
all.
So it's Tim serving from the Roy Box end at 15 all. That little bit between you and me just before now should go in the piece they put together of all our fluffs.
Johan Kriek, the number 10 seed in the American Open tennis tournament, being played at Flushing Meadows, New York, has been beaten, I should say, by Elina Stasi of Romania.
Now, wasn't that a news story to sink your teeth into? Moving on from a sport where love means nothing to a sport that is loved by millions. Football has certainly had its share of gaffes and blunders over the years from various commentators and experts of the game. Here are just a few instances of verbal foul-ups from the game's long history where the foot has been firmly placed in the mouth. We'll kick off with this one from commentator John Watson, who once said, "For those of you watching in black and white, Spurs are in the old yellow strip." And what in the world was ex-England manager Ron Greenwood on about when he said, "Playing with wingers is more effective against European sides like Brazil than English sides like Wales"? Mind you, Mr. Greenwood wasn't the only one to lose his bearings. Ex-Liverpool striker Ian Royce once said, while speaking on the difficulties of adjusting to playing football and living in Italy, it was like being in a foreign country. And Terry Venables once made this very profound statement: "If history repeats itself, I should think we can expect the same thing again." And if history could repeat itself, I don't think that this confused commentator, coming up now, could do any worse.
And what a contrast this game must be tonight here at Old Trafford between the Manor and Old Trafford. The claustrophobic situation of the Manor, which Manchester United find difficult to cope with, and the wide open spaces of Old Trafford, which possibly Oxford United must also, from their own point of view, be finding it difficult to cope with. Manchester United, perhaps the greatest club in English soccer at this present time, they have failed to assert themselves entirely against third division leaders of against Oxford United, third division leaders of the third division, and at half-time they must be very worried because they know that Oxford United, who they have themselves through their own manager, Oxford United have described as possibly one of the best sides in the second division. They have failed to assert themselves, and they know that they have landed themselves with a very considerable problem in the second half.
To the Hamilton half now. Clydebank trying to put on pressure once more. Well, now, that's the first time I've been hit right in the face with a ball, and I didn't like it. Actually, the microphone in front of my face rather saved me, but at the same time, being a lip microphone, for those of you who are not familiar with it, it has a metal ridge all around it, and that metal ridge doesn't do one any good when it's thumped into one's face. Never mind, we're all right. I'll make a note of the player who did that, and he won't have a very good game the next time I'm watching.
Good evening to you, Alan.
Good evening.
Now then, a win tomorrow is pretty well vitally important, isn't it, for Rangers?
Well, of course it is. It's imperative they get off to a good start, and 2 points is a can we start again?
Yeah.
The FA Cup final result has forced colourful politician Pat Wall to shave off his beard. The Millicent supporter is an Everton fanatic and said unless they won the cup, he'd keep his distinctive bristles forever. Nick Power reports from Bradford.
Not a lot of officials at these European games march around the track, and it's not only distracting, but when it blocks one's view. And my apologies, those little frail chairs that I spoke about earlier have collapsed, and you now have the sight, much to the merriment of the Hungarian fans here, you have the sight of John Blair, I'm sure at least 14 stone, and myself, over 15 I fear, sitting on the track, flat on our backs. I've managed to recover the microphone. The chair is being recovered for me. I think it's a bit risky sitting on it, but I'll try it. So, if I disappear again, just wait for a second till I join you, will you?
Well, that poor commentator certainly had a bit of a grapple to regain his chair, not to say dignity. But it pales into insignificance compared to grappling with the character in our next clip, as we now get to grips with the sport of wrestling. To illustrate this, we take a scene from the classic radio comedy Hancock's Half Hour. In this episode, entitled The Grappling Game, we find that Tony is in need of some extra cash, so he hits upon the idea of transforming his somewhat rounded secretary, Griselda Pugh, played by Hattie Jakes, into an all-in wrestler, and with the help of his crony Sid James, arranges a match for her at the Albert Hall. So, without further ado, let's now join commentator Kenneth Williams at the ringside.
Good evening and welcome to the Albert Hall, where we're just about to witness a heavyweight wrestling contest, best of three falls between Maury the Maniac and the new wrestling sensation, Grizzly Bear. The first time a woman has ever stepped into the wrestling ring for a championship fight. And here come the two contestants stepping into the ring. She's as strong as an ox, this girl. She grabs hold of the ropes to help herself into the ring. She pulls herself up, and while they're replacing the ropes that snapped, she goes over to her opponent. This fight, of course, is a mere formality. The Amazon of each team is expected to finish Maury the Maniac in 2 rounds. This is a prelude to the World Championship at Madison Square Gardens later this year, when sports writers predict she will massacre the reigning world champion. And the two fighters go to the center of the ring and shake hands. And Maury the Maniac lands in the 5th row. Incredible. A flick of the wrist and he took off like a rocket. She doesn't know her own strength, this girl. There'll be a slight pause now while they leave a Maury out of the tip-up seat.
Oh, Hancock, got your money on?
Yes, every penny. If she wins tonight, I stand to make a fortune. I'll put the lot on her.
Good boy. She'll paralyze him. There's no one in the world can stand up to her when she starts moving. Look at them muscles rippling up and down her arm. I counted 10, I only got out the end elbow. I think we're all going to be rich after tonight, son. Well, here we go. Seconds out.
And straightway the Maniac starts talking in a very wide arc. In fact, he's got his back against the ropes all the way around. Yes, she's standing in the middle of the ring and she turns with him. I wonder what his tactics are. Perhaps he's trying to make her dizzy. She's pounced on him. Oh, that poor man. Oh, this shouldn't be allowed. It's no contest. Yes, he's disappeared under a flurry of blows, and I don't know where he is now. Yes, there he is. He's up. He's running around the ring with Grizzly after him. Oh, what's the use? It's like being chased by a runaway steamroller up a narrow dead-end alley. She's bound to catch up with him sooner or later. Yes, there it is. She's got him. She's sitting on his chest and trying to see whether his legs will bend under the back of his head. Yes, they will. Oh. Now, she's tied his shoelaces together, and she's given him a push. He's rolling backwards and forwards like a rocking chair.
Saved by the bell. Oh, dear. And look at her. Look at her. Cool as a cucumber. Where did she get that knitting from? You've got to hand it to her.
How must the woman body stand? She's got him in a vice-like grip. I think she's going to finish him off now. She's squeezing him. Wait a minute, what's happening? He's got loose. He's put her scissors round her neck. She's not offering any resistance. This is a complete change round. The Maniac's making a fantastic comeback. He's putting pressure on her now. Can she do something? She's giving in. Yes, she's tapping the mat. She's giving in. Maury the Maniac is the winner. This is a complete mystery. What happened in there?
What did you let him do that for? I'm ruined. I had every penny I possess on you, and you've lost it for me. What did you let him win for? What happened?
Well, I could have beaten him easily enough, but while we were in a clinch, he gazed into my eyes and said, "Grizzly, you're the most beautiful woman I've ever seen. Will you marry me?" Well, I couldn't beat him after all that. If he changed his mind, I might never get another chance. You know how men hate to have a wife stronger than themselves, and a girl's got to take her chances when they come.
You could have made mincemeat of him.
Well, I probably will when we're married. But I've got to get him first.
Well, I hope you're satisfied. I am flat broke. I'll have to go out to work again now. Oh, go and make the tea.
Do it yourself.
May I remind you that you are still in my employ and will do as you are told?
Do you want me to throw you out of the window?
I beg your pardon?
I'm very grateful to you. I didn't know my own strength until now, and I intend to take full advantage of it. From now on, you will do as you're told, both of you.
I refuse.
Very well.
Oh, all right. Say that. I'll give in. Take your hands off my throat.
Aye, well, the opposite sides of me neck touched then.
Right. I think I'll have a little rest. Put the stool under my feet, will you?
Yes, madam.
And cook my dinner?
Certainly, madam.
And make my bed?
Of course.
And do all the ironing?
Yes, of course.
Stone me, I've created a monster.
Hancock?
Yes, madam, right away.
I think this place ought to be done out. You'd better scrub it all from top to bottom.
Certainly.
It's a nice day. I think I'll sit in the garden. Carry me out there.
Well, good grief.
What was that?
Yes, madam, of course.
You might clean my shoes while you're about
Right
it.
away.
And there's some mending that needs doing.
Yes,
the boiler needs
by all
taking out,
means.
of course.
Yes, just
Tony there getting to grips with the grappling game in Hancock's Half Hour. Staying in the ring, we now turn our sporting attentions from wrestling to boxing as we pay a visit to the inmates of Slade Prison, home in particular to One Old Leg Norman Stanley Fletcher, played of course by Ronnie Barker in the classic comedy series Porridge. In this scene, Fletcher's cellmate Lenny, played by Richard Beckinsale, has boxed clever and made it onto the Slade Prison boxing team.
You made the team, Lenny?
Yeah. Well, champ, is it? Oh, yeah. Double rations, then? If I want them. I thought the whole point about boxing was getting a double ration, shit.
Yeah, but if I have a double ration of Slade Prison's food, I won't be a middleweight, I'll be an overweight.
I trust you're not complaining about the food, Godber.
No complaints.
Well, it's a jolly sight better than a lot of people get at home. I speak from experience. Of prison food, that is.
Yeah, but it's just that it's not much to look at. Well, then again, I suppose neither is ready-mixed concrete, and that doesn't taste very nice either, does it?
Oh, that's all right, then. I'm glad to see you're taking a sensible... Pardon.
Thank you, Sid. Thanks.
Hi, Sid. Glad flex?
Oh, Goldie athlete, is it?
Nothing wrong with that. Good to keep in shape, better than drafts. You could do with losing a couple of pounds, Fletch.
Thanks to drafts, I just won a couple of pounds, didn't I?
You cheated drafts.
Here, you watch your tongue, I'll knock your block off, mate.
I know you won't. So I just made the team, didn't I?
Get off.
Fletch, where's your guard?
He's outside. You want me to fetch him in? Sit down and shut up. Boxing. Oh, it's boxing, is it? You've been through every napping course in this prison, ain't you, Gobber? Eh? Arts and crafts, O-levels, pottery, Spanish. What are you going to do with Spanish? Become an interpreter, are you?
Si, senor.
Oh, that's it, is it? That's it, is it? 6 months of intensive study and that's all we get, is it? Si, senor.
Now, listen. No tien vaca, pero tien una burro.
Go on then, I'll buy it.
I haven't got a cow, but I have got a donkey.
Oh, that's very handy, isn't it? That'll come in very useful, won't it, mate? On your first Spanish holiday, sitting there with a shy little senorita. She's whispering sweet nothings up your nose. Oh, yeah. What do you say? I haven't got a cow, darling, but I've got a donkey.
Vaya con Dios. That's Spanish.
People like you from Birmingham would do better learning English, mate. I wish you'd stop this boxing lark and all. You bring a terrible smell of sweat and liniment into my room, you do.
Takes away the smell of your aftershave. Now, seriously though, Fletch, I'm dead chuffed about making the boxing squad. Big match next week.
You're only boxing for our wing.
Yeah, but...
Against another wing.
Yeah, but even...
Hardly Madison Square Gardens, is it?
It's a start. I'm going to work hard at this. It's a great working class escape sport. That and rock and roll.
No doubt you get round to that sooner or later.
I've got all the credentials for being a fighter. Terrible background, deprived childhood, Mr. Bayliss, the PTI, he says that I've got a lot of natural ability.
If you show all the flair in the boxing ring that you've shown for Spanish, my son, you ain't half due for a clobbering.
Qui sera, sera.
Kiss her what? Now then, where's me little clippers?
Oh, you're not going to cut your toenails in here.
Well, I ain't going to grow them indefinitely, am I? And I'm not tall enough to stick my foot out the window, see?
You always do it on my bunk.
Oh, dear, well, I'm sorry if I offend your Brummagem sense of propriety. Go on, I wish you'd take a shower, I really do.
Yes. Now, don't get up, Godber. Well, I'm told congratulations are in order.
Oh, the boxing. Oh, yes, thank you, Mr. McCaighey.
Fine sport boxing, you know. The noble art. Teaches you discipline, dedication, team spirit. Oh, yes. Of course, I was no slouch myself at your age. Oh, no. I once boxed for Midlothian boys.
Oh? Who against Lanarkshire girls?
In the army, I boxed for the battalion.
Did you, Mr. McCaighey?
Yes, 1st Battalion, the Argyll and Southern Highlanders. Regiment of great tradition. Regiment I was proud to serve.
Yeah, regiment which is now defunct. In spite of all them nerks who stuck stickers in the car windows.
I expect you were in the Ordnance Corps, Fletcher, eh? Anything that would keep you well out of the line of fire. Probably served your time embezzling stores and some cushy posting like Shoebury Ness.
Ah, well, that's just where you're wrong, see? I saw active service. I did Malaya. Kuala Lumpur, that's where I did my embezzling, mate. Yeah. And it wasn't no Ordnance Corps either. It was the RASC.
What's that mean?
Run away, someone's coming.
Oh, yes. National service would have done you good, Godber. Army looks after its boxers.
Well, I don't reckon boxing's such a noble art anyway.
No, of course you wouldn't.
No. I haven't told you this. I had a friend once. He was a good boy, he was. Light heavy, you know.
Yeah.
Good, strong lad. He won a few fights. Then, of course, he thought he was the bee's knees, didn't he, eh? See? Fast cars, loose women. Classic story. Too much, too soon. He just blew up. Got into debt. Do you know where he finished up? In a boxing booth in a fairground. 4 fights a night, 7 nights a week. Well, I mean, the body can't take that sort of punishment, can it?
There you are.
Brain just went soft, you know. Reflexes got punchy. He just became a vegetable. An incoherent, non-thinking zombie.
What became of him?
He joined the prison service as a warder. He's doing very well.
Knockout comedy there from Porridge. Well, just before we go out for the count, we have one last round of real-life sporting gaffes to land on you. You've been listening to The Funny Side of Sport, a funny bone presentation written, produced and presented by Mark McCaighey. Thanks for being a good sport. Bye-bye.
You join me in the tunnel here at White Hart Lane, and Joe Bugner emerges from the tunnel wearing an outrageous white, yellow and green dressing room.
It won't be long before they're called up into line. We're coming up to 2 o'clock now, and this is the Game Spirit Chase, named of course by Game Spirit, a lovely horse. It was owned by Her Majesty the Queen Mother, who dropped dead here after a very long and distinguished career.
Well, there we are. We've had 2 British wins, one for Ireland and now one for Germany. And Otto Shaver, the first time that you've jumped here.
Oh, sorry. My name is Stephen. Otto is the name of my horse.
Oh, Stephen, you're quite right. Well done.
And the cue is as follows. If I can make some sense out of it. First, boxing, and Alan Minter has and the cues are so pathetic. I don't know who writes them. Well, boxing and Alan Minter, whose European middleweight title victory against Angelo Jacopucci 4 months ago was clouded by Jacopucci's death. I bet Jacopucci thought it was more than clouded by his death. After the fight, returned to the ring last night and beat the Frenchman Gratien Tonner, Gratien, Tonner, Tonna, in 6 rounds. It doesn't say where or anything like that, but I suppose they think we all know. You can look in the Radio Times to find out where, because it was on the radio last night. In fact, I think. Anyway, Desmond Lynham was there, wherever there is, to see him do it, and we'll hear what Desmond Lynham has to say in 5 from now.
I've always wanted to play golf, and so I thought it would be a good thing to know the rudiments of golf.
Have you learned a lot?
Yes, I have. How to hold the golf cue.
Michael Holding's also fit to play. England has won loss and bat. In Victor Radio News, it's 6 minutes past 4. I don't really know what that means.
Yes, you don't know what you're talking about there with cricket, do you?
What is loss and bat?
They've won the toss and they've decided to bat.
Oh, it's a spelling mistake.
Oxford in the lead, I think. I don't know, but I think it's almost neck and neck. It's level, I should think. I'm not quite sure. It must be level. Cambridge picking up the stroke. I think Cambridge are ahead. I don't know who's ahead. It's either Oxford or Cambridge. It's neck and neck the whole way over. There's about less than 100 yards to go.
I was a bit disappointed at the lack of imagination of the Swansea back row because they had that possession. They tried to say move twice with John Thomas relieving himself or disassociating himself from the scrum.
Walsh runs in now to bowl to Lamb. Lamb plays up one with a bat angle this time. He hit it off the meat and it goes all on the ground to Arthurton, who's a fine fielder, left-handed, and feels that a cover, no run. And Ollie, what do you think of that last stroke?
Very good shot. I enjoyed. I mean, Alan Lamb takes the... You're just trying to do me here because I've got a mouthful of cake.
Yeah, you have. You're spitting it all into the microphone, too. Really, Ollie. In the middle of an over, you can't resist the cream puffs.
We end this look back at the year with the comment of the year, a remark that, while said I'm sure with the best of intentions, takes some believing. It came from a certain dog track photo finish man who was asked to enlighten listeners as to the explanation of a short head.
The dog's nose should be in front of the eyes.
The dog's nose should be in front of the eyes. Definition that continues to puzzle me. Well...